Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this course we will learn about propagation and nursery management. And in this course we will learn about what is propagation, types of propagation, classification of propagation, seed formation, and sexual and asexual propagation, natural vegetative propagation, underground vegetative structure, apomixis, parthenocarpic, grafting, cutting, budding, layering, all of the techniques according to propagation we'll learn in this course. So let's get started. Firstly, I'd like to tell about the propagation. What is propagation? Propagation is the process of reproduction of plants by any number of natural or artificial means. Here we can see plant propagation in different types, sexual or asexual. Then types of propagation. We know that there are two types of propagation. First one is sexual and another is asexual. Sexual, where plants are grown from seeds formed as a result of sexual reproduction inside the flower. The plants that grow from seed may not be exactly identical to the parent plant. On the other hand, asexual, where part of the parent plant is taken to make a new plant exactly the same. Stem cuttings are an example of asexual propagation. So these are the types of propagation. Now, here are the purposes of propagation. There are mainly three purposes of propagation. First one is preservation, second crop production, and third one is landscaping. So preservation of germplasm. Sometimes scientists discover novelties that arise spontaneously in nature or in research projects. These rare finds must be preserved, and to utilize them in any research, they must be increased. In developing a new cultivar, plant breeders create the new genotype through a variety of breeding methodologies. The prototype must first be preserved and then multiplied for use by growers. The ultimate goal of preservation there is to ensure that the original characteristics of the plant are maintained. So first purpose is preservation of germplasm. Then second, crop production. Growing crops or plants involves propagation using an appropriate material such as seed, cutting, and others. The goal in propagation in commercial production is to increase or replicate the source material. In this instance, product of propagation could be thousands of plants or seeds. Then third one is landscaping. Plants are increased for use in the landscape to fulfill aesthetic and functional purposes. So these are the purposes of propagation. Now, people arise a question such as which method is to use. There are two types of method, sexual or asexual. So there is a question for people that which method is to use. The answer is, if the plant group reproduces through by seeds with no characteristics change, the cultivar is termed as pure line. A line is homozygous. I repeat, a line is homozygous, having similar alleles of Mendelian pair present in the same cell as, for example, a dwarf pea plant with genes for dwarfness only, and if self-pollinated or cross-pollination is prevented, seed propagation yields progeny like the original plant. Many of the world's leading economic plants, the cereals, vegetables, and garden flowers are made up of group of these lines. That means in case of homozygous, sexual propagation is suitable. On the other hand, many groups of plants are heterozygous, having different allele of Mendelian pair in the same cell, as for example a tall pea plant with genes for tallness T and genes for dwarfness small t. rather than homozygous. These include fruit and nut species, many forages, crops, and woody ornamentals. Heterozygous plants have many dissimilar genes that segregate and recombine so that resulting plants differ from each other and from their parent. With these plants, seed propagation cannot maintain the characteristics of the female parent and cannot be used as a successful propagation procedure. With such heterozygous plants, vegetative or asexual propagation is usually used. Cultivars originating from a single plant or plant part and maintained in this manner by vegetative propagation are called clones. So we can understand that in case of homozygous, sexual propagation is suitable, and in case of heterozygous, asexual propagation is suitable, such as different types of fruit and nut species. So that's all for today. We'll learn different types of classification according to propagation in the next video. Thanks for watching.